Okay, so I recently got back into Attack on Titan Revolution after a little bit of a hiatus. I hadn't played the game since they released the Armored Titan, so I wanted to get into the game and get my hands on the Armored Titan, and I did. And when I got it, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. This Titan just didn't seem all that good, to be honest, when I first got my hands on it, but as I was leveling it up and upgrading it a little bit more and got more used to the abilities of the Armored Titan, I kind of now changed my mind. I think this Titan's okay, but does it even remotely compare to the Attack Titan? Well, I don't know, let's talk about it. Okay, so it's pretty obvious this game is pretty damage focused. I mean, the more damage you can do, the faster you can complete the missions, and you don't really take enough damage when you're in Titan form anyway to really ever risk dying, especially if you have Founder's Blessing. You can just keep transforming over and over and over again and basically not have to worry at all. Which is why the Attack Titan is so broken, because it can just kill bosses so quickly, which is why I really like it. I mean, you can get like sub 3-minute raids with this thing really easily if you're actually got like the right perks and the right setup for it. Which kind of begs the question, why would you ever use the Armored Titan if you're looking for extra health? Because like you don't need the extra health that it gives you, because you can't really die anyway when you have the Attack Titan. And the damage that the Armored Titan does is obviously significantly less than the Attack Titan, so why would you trade health for damage when it's not really that necessary to have too much health? So if you're like me, you're probably thinking, hey, the Armored Titan is pretty bad, why the hell would I ever use this thing? And that's because there is actually one particular case where the Armored Titan is good and better than the Attack Titan, but it's not by a whole lot, but it is nice to have for this one particular reason, and that is missions. The Armored Titan is really fast. Like, it is by far the fastest Titan in the game. Once you shred the armor and you're charging at people, it is very quick. So it can get around the map very quickly. It also has hyper armor, so it can't be stunned. And you can clear missions very fast with a lot of AoE from the Armored Titan. So, in that regard, it is very, very good. So if you do a lot of missions and you don't like raids, I would probably recommend going and getting yourself the Armored Titan instead of the Attack Titan. Okay, so this makes it all sound like the Armored Titan is completely useless in raids, and that isn't actually true at all, because the Armored Titan is actually really good in raids. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds longer every single raid that I'm doing, but that's only because it does less damage. This Titan, you can literally turn off your brain and do raids in, because you don't take any damage whatsoever. You don't have to manage your health at all, right? With the Attack Titan, you have to do a little bit of that. I'll get into that later, but the Armored Titan, you can turn off your brain, turn on hyper armor, and just punch, and win the raid. And it will only take you about 30 to 40 seconds longer than normal. So honestly, not a bad trade-off. Also, I think this Titan caters towards newer players. It's really good as a first Titan. If you don't already have the Attack Titan, then get yourself the Armored Titan first, because trust me, this thing will easily be able to get you 5% damage on all your raids, and you will never have to worry about dying. If you die with the Armored Titan, I don't know how you've done that, to be honest. I seriously do not know how you've done that. Okay, so just real quick, if you are unfamiliar with the concept of hyper armor, here's how it works, right? You can see if I try to punch these guys, right, I get stunned. You see how I got kind of knocked back there? I'll do it again, got knocked back again, right? If I activate this ability right here, that can no longer happen. Right? These guys can't stop me from punching them anymore. Right? I do not get knocked back. I do not get stunned, which is really, really broken, and it saves a ton of time during missions and raids. Okay, so let's just say you got yourself your Armored Serum. If you actually want to get that ability I just showed you, trust me when I say this, you need to go over to your level, and you need to level up this ability right here, because it is really, really good. And then once you got that leveled up, you want to get 5 of the armored shards like this, and then come across to the reinforced armor area, and that's where you get the hyper armor. Now, it does take a while to get these armored shards, I'm not going to lie. You're going to have to do a ton of raids and just pray that you're able to get them quickly. But once you do get this ability, it's the best ability in the game, in my opinion. For any Titan, it's just ridiculously overpowered. Okay, so speaking about OP abilities, the Armored Titan is fully stacked with overpowered abilities. It only has one bad ability, and that is the Titan Toss. This ability sucks. I don't know why anyone would use it. I've tried using it. I've tried leveling it up. I hate it, and I will never touch it ever again, right? But the rest of the abilities, Earthbreaker is by far one of the best AoE damage abilities in the entire game. It's crazy. Unstoppable Charge lasts for ages. It's good for clearing out hordes of enemies, and it just does good damage to bosses as well. We already talked about Courage and the Hyper Armor that this one gives you. One of the best abilities, if not the best ability in the entire game. And then one of my favorite abilities is Phase Shift. You might look at this and go, oh my god, I don't want to lose the 15% damage negation or reduction that it gives me. But trust me, the mobility this thing gives you is ridiculous. You can fly around the map. It is a great ability. And then, of course, it's got its own version of Roar, and Roar is just great because it gives you health, damage. It's awesome. Also, another thing you guys might not be aware of is the Armored Titan Serum is actually slightly easier to get. It's actually a 0.83 with my luck, and then obviously the Attack Titan is a slightly lower. Obviously, that's not a huge difference, and it does take a little bit longer to beat the Armored Titan raid in general, so it kind of balances it out just a little bit. But I hope this video helped you guys decide whether or not you're going to go for the Attack Serum or the Armored Titan Serum, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.